Ever find yourself stuck in the suburban blues? You know, where every house looks the same and the only excitement is waiting for the garbage truck. Well, you're not alone. Today, we're looking into the deep end of the picket fence pool to talk about why the suburbs can be a bit lonely and, let's be honest, downright depressing. So let's get started. Exploring the dull side of American life. Take a look around your typical American suburb, and what do you see? Rows of identical houses, streets that seem to go on forever, and an almost eerie quietness. It's like the whole place is stuck in snooze mode, with the only signs of life being people mowing lawns or walking their furry friends. And if you think about making a break for it, well, good luck, because you're probably met with strip malls, big box stores, and corporate chains as far as the eye can see. Some people might defend the suburbs, saying they're a peaceful escape from the chaos of city life. And that's true too. Who wouldn't want a quiet place to call home? But we didn't end up with these suburbs by accident. After World War II, we started building these car-dependent havens on the outskirts, leaving downtowns to gather dust. Well, part of it was racism, white flight to the suburbs, leaving minorities in struggling city centres. And let's talk about those downtowns. If you've ever heard someone dissing city life, saying it's all crime and chaos, there's a reason behind that perception. For decades, we turned our backs on downtowns, running highways through them, bulldozing historic neighbourhoods, and paving the way for suburban sprawl. No wonder they ended up struggling, with crime and homelessness on the rise. The suburbs may look peaceful on the surface, but when you peel back the layers, there's a lot more going on. Revolutionising suburbia. Most of the land is zoned for single-family homes, and there's a ton of pressure to build on the remaining spots that allow higher density. Two extremes, either towering condos or car-dependent suburbia. It's like there's no middle ground. But it can be peaceful without being so car-dependent and isolating. The issue here is that it's not the concept of suburbs itself, it's how they've been building them since post-World War II. American suburbs became synonymous with bad urban planning. Suburbs can be just as quiet and peaceful without sacrificing variety or trapping you in a car-centric nightmare. It's time to break the mold. Let's rewind a bit and talk about streetcar suburbs. Back in the 1920s, as cities expanded, they built these gems. Imagine living within walking distance of a metro station and multiple grocery stores. These neighbourhoods were mixed use, meaning you'd find cafes and convenience stores within residential areas. Safer, shorter distances, and independence for kids. It's like the best of both worlds. But most of these kinds of suburbs are illegal to build in North America today. So, what's the deal? They're stuck with the same old car-dependent, isolating suburbs, the kind that feels crushingly lifeless. In a nutshell, the suburbs we know aren't the only option. It's time to rethink and reshape how we build our communities. Why modern suburbs fall short and how we can wake them up. Ever wonder why modern suburbs feel like a giant snooze fest? Well, part of the blame goes to something called Ukian zoning. It's a bit like that zoning you might have encountered in SimCity or City Skylines, where residential, commercial and industrial areas are kept far, far away from each other. Now, that makes sense to a point. No one wants to live next to a noisy factory. North America takes it to the extreme though, acting like there's zero value in having a grocery store or library in the same neighbourhood as your home. Minimum parking requirements, lot sizes, building setbacks and street widths, all these rules make it seem like everything you do requires a car. So your life becomes a repetitive cycle of driving to work, running errands and driving back home. Sounds exciting, right? Imagine the typical suburban commercial block, big box stores, strip malls, surrounded by endless seas of asphalt. Not exactly the dream hangout spot. You're in, do your thing, and out as fast as humanly possible. No one wants to spend more time than necessary in these places. So there is a routine and repetitive lifestyle. Suburbanites often find themselves stuck in a loop of commuting, errands, and homebound drives. Without social spaces to bump into neighbours or meet new faces, it's no wonder suburbia can start feeling as lonely and depressing as a rainy day without your favourite snacks. In a nutshell, modern suburbs have fallen into a routine that lacks the vibrancy of community life. The vanishing third place in suburbs and why we need it back. Ever feel like your modern suburb is missing something? Well, meet the third place, a social concept coined by Ray Oldenburg. It's that magical spot away from home and work. Think local bars, churches, cafes, restaurants, or community centres. These are the spots where you're not just grabbing a coffee, you're connecting with people, making new friends, or running into that old buddy you haven't seen in ages. They welcome everyone, no matter their background or status. You can spontaneously meet new folks, form weak ties, those casual connections that open doors to jobs or opportunities, and build trust within your community. Studies show that 81% of Americans with third places trust their neighbours, compared to 68% of those who don't have these hangout spots. But our zoning laws in many suburbs shut the door on building these third places. Suburbanites try to recreate them, maybe with backyard barbecues or joining private clubs. The spontaneity of a true third place is hard to replicate. You could drive to a restaurant or mall, but the catch is that since you're driving, the people you meet might not be from your local community. Malls, once a hangout hub, now attract folks from all over the city, leaving you rarely seeing familiar faces unless you work there. This lack of social environments in suburbs has led to a lot of folks spending their time indoors, playing video games or scrolling through social media. Take TikTok for example. It's like an online third place where people from all walks of life congregate, socialize, and share their lives. But social media isn't a replacement for face-to-face interactions. In 2021, only 56% of Americans say they have a local spot they can visit regularly, down from 67% in 2019. Those lucky enough to still have third places tend to live in denser, walkable neighborhoods rather than car-dependent suburbs. So why does this matter? Because these third places aren't just about grabbing a coffee or a meal. They're about weaving the fabric of our communities, fostering connections, and turning neighborhoods into more than just a collection of houses. It's about the shared moments, the laughter, and the chance encounters that make a place feel like home. Balancing act. Modern suburbs have their perks, but it's all the small details that can make a big difference, like those charming back alleyways. They're perfect for kiddos to play safely or host community events. And how about those adorable car-free paths leading to a cozy park surrounded by houses? It's like a hidden gem in your neighborhood. However, due to zoning laws, these sweet details are becoming rare in modern suburbia. And if someone tells you they prefer living in these modern suburbs, that's cool. However, it's challenging to justify why our zoning laws limit us to building only these suburban mazes. Are we saying that most Americans dream of living in car-dependent suburbs with no cozy spots to socialize? Or is it more likely that folks feel stuck because that's their only option, apart from a tiny expensive downtown apartment? Some suburbanites argue that access to nature is a big bonus, and fair enough. But what if our cities were closer to nature without sprawling suburbs? What if our suburbs were denser, reducing the need to sprawl so far out? It's a thought, right? And yes, loneliness, especially after the pandemic, it's become a serious issue. A survey found that nearly half of over 20,000 American adults always feel alone or left out. Teens in particular feel the loneliness pinch. Could it be because suburbs are so car dependent that younger folks lack the independence to zip over to a friend's place? But loneliness isn't solely an urban planning issue. It's just that the lack of third places in suburbs doesn't help. Urban design does matter. Living in car-dependent suburbia can take a toll on your mental health. But don't panic. It doesn't mean we all need to cram into skyscrapers or hustle in the big city. What we need is a zoning makeover. Let's update those ancient laws to allow businesses in residential areas and diverse housing options beyond skyscrapers and single-family homes. Now, if you found this video informational and thought-provoking, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon. Thanks for watching.